Very good. Hi everybody. I'm back with Paul with Baby Yoda Con, and I'm gonna have a few special guests. So all of you introduce yourselves.
All right, well, we'll start. I am Michelle.
And I'm Natalie.
And we are Force of Light Entertainment. We're happy to talk some Baby Yoda.
I'm Michael from the 2x2 Star Wars Network, and I'm here to talk Baby Yoda. I do have a 10-inch Baby Yoda Funko Pop, even though everyone knows I don't collect Funko Pops.
Alberto here from the Radio Rebellion podcast, also in my Baby Yoda. And if Michael doesn't want to keep his Funko Baby Yoda, I'm sure that I can take it away from him if he wants.
And I am Ro, 1/3 of the Scare of Scuttlebutt podcast, again with my Baby Yoda. And I think I have to change him because I smell something funny here.
So what do you guys think gonna happen to Baby in season 2 of The Mandalorian?
He's gonna go home, but we don't know where home is.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna be taken. I think it's gonna be hard once we find out where the child is gonna go and with whom. I think that's going to be a very difficult separation, and both for the child, the Mandalorian, and us as fans. We know that he's got to get somewhere. We just don't know where, and that's half the adventure. I think I'm excited to try to see where he's going to end up.
So, Ro, do you really think they're going to split Baby Yoda from Mando?
Probably not. When you come and think of it, what it's going to turn out to be, I think, if the journey continues, whoever he's supposed to deliver the child to, it's going to be a threesome. So I think, or I guess a foursome now that Kara is part of the team as well. So I think next year's marketing is going to be really wild because they're going to add one more. I know the IG-11 character is gone, and it's going to be substituted by somebody else in the marketing. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think right now it's really up in the air. As far as we've had a lot of leaks on people that are supposedly going to be in The Mandalorian, whether it be the actors or characters themselves. And, it's just a bunch of speculation on, are they going to be in there as flashbacks? Are they going to be in there as new characters? What role are they going to play? Are they going to be just one and done in the episode like we saw? I think it was episode 5 where Mando goes on the space station and has, meets up with a group of 5 or 6 other people that he used to be in a crew with. And, it's going to be something like that. And, I mean, there's just so many possibilities that, it's still going to be keeping Baby Yoda and Din Djarin as the focus. Everyone else kind of has to be off to the side. But I'm not sure if they're going to be able to really get rid of them, because that might have been an idea in the past. But now with how strong Baby Yoda is, I mean, they can't kill him off. And if he's gone, you're going to lose half your viewership that is only watching for him.
Watch your mouth, Michael. What do you mean you can't kill him off? Watch your mouth.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way Baby Yoda parts from Mando until the final episode of the final season.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe there's a temporary separation. Maybe Baby Yoda gets taken.
Then a sweet reunion.
But then there will be a sweet reunion.
I do think that he's going to take him to someone that he thinks we're going to be able to take better care of Baby Yoda, even if it's to his home or the Jedi. But eventually he'll go back and know that they can be separated. And we'll either find him or Baby Yoda will make his way back to Din Djarin. I don't think they'll be separated unless he's taken by someone. I don't think they'll be separated by the end of season 2.
I think they have too sweet of a connection to be separated.
Yeah.
Me too.
Bob, I don't know if you saw a post that I posted a while ago. I was trying to figure out where the child fits into the bigger overall story of Star Wars, because obviously, you know, 40 years later, we have no idea that this guy exists or was around during whatever period of time that he grew up in the 50 years that he existed. So we're trying to figure out, I was trying to figure out, well, where does he fit in? Will it affect the original trilogy in some way, the way we see it? Will it affect the sequel trilogy? I thought actually there would be more connection between the child and the Rise of Skywalker, because they kind of toyed with the idea, or at least there were a lot of people talking about the fact that the child somehow, or the Mandalorian somehow, kind of ties in with the events of the Rise of Skywalker. I didn't really see that happening. I think that was maybe an afterthought, and just to kind of tease the fans a little bit. Although there was some talk, some of our Red 5 family podcasts were talking about how the advent of the child existing kind of gives maybe a backstory as to how Palpatine survived. Whether it's, the child's healing powers or some other force of the force, if you will. So these are all questions that I'm hoping season 2 of The Mandalorian will touch on, and I'm excited to figure it out. I just don't want the child to affect the original trilogy in a way that kind of messes things up, if you know what I mean.
Like
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
one,
I agree with Ro on that. But I mean, it's one of those things that, the canon's always evolving. And we had Obi-Wan, he was the last Jedi. And then Luke, he was training, he was going to train Luke. And then it turns out that that Yoda was going to be the last Jedi. Then it turns out that Luke is the last Jedi, through the original trilogy. And then as time goes on, we find out that, through the prequels, that, well, a few more Jedi kind of survived because they escaped. And then through the cartoons, and that doesn't really, I don't think, take away from the original trilogy. It's just kind of like if I meet Ro for the first time and he tells me his life story, we sit down, have a couple beers, he tells me his life story, and as I get to know him more and more, I find out this other story that happened in his life and this other story that happened. So it's not really taken away from what he told me originally. It's the more beers we have, the more we talk, and I get to know him.
That's true. That's a good point, Michael. That's a good point.
like to be
Yeah,
honest,
I was just gonna say I don't think in any way it will take away. I do think they could definitely possibly. I mean, Filoni's such a genius of tying little things in, so I think they definitely can tie into, maybe that's why Moff Gideon is after him, possibly for the Emperor. But maybe they don't get him, and that's why he needs Kylo Ren or Rey down the road. Maybe that tells us he never got his hands on this little guy.
I think what they're doing is that if you look at the original trilogy and if you look at why the sidewalk, so I have a feeling that it connects, that the baby connects to somewhat the original trilogy, but not in the way that some fans are thinking it connects. I have a feeling it connects with why the sidewalk to be with Palpatine when he's a clone, and I think that the baby is a clone. That's what I think. That the baby is taking on Palpatine, and Palpatine telling him, listen, you're not gonna do anything to Mandalorian yet. I want you to take him to your home, and then Baby Yoda is gonna turn evil. That's what I think gonna happen.
Wow. I think going back to the original question or the point that Ro brought, I do think it will connect a little bit more to the sequel trilogy than to the original. Although using Palpatine that way connects to the original, but not in a big way. That doesn't mess up the timeline or anything that we've come to love. But cloning is very important because that's how we meet Dr. for his name, Pushin or Paishin, that has that clone badge on his shirt. So they wanted for some sort of cloning. Does that way it ties into the prequels? ties to the original if Palpatine wants him for his final plan, and then ties to the sequel trilogy because everything is connected. And I think someone, when you posted that question, Ro, also mentioned that when The Mandalorian was coming out, they said it was going to touch a little bit on the origin of the First Order. So all of that might be connected, and hopefully by season 2 we'll see. And if it's cloning, they can be doing cloning already. So I have to. But yeah, Baby Yoda turning evil, that would be a big twist. I don't think a lot of people are thinking about.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Disney's thinking of the marketing for kids and how they're going to keep selling Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think there's really endless possibilities for the what we don't know. And Baby Yoda and Anakin were born at the same time, or came around in existence at the same time. Because if you do the math, at the time of the Mandalorian, Anakin would have been 50 years old. So they were pretty much, whether you want to say conceived or came about, and then it can go back to once again, endless possibilities of, like an immaculate conception, and was then Yoda a clone? So that was the Force, or was Yoda when Plagueis, who's no longer canon, created Baby Yoda? That's why Anakin was created, or because we have the comics that say that Baby Yoda, or I'm sorry, that Anakin was created because of Plagueis and Palpatine. Not that they are the father, but they were trying to manipulate the midichlorians and all that junk, and then all of a sudden Anakin's born. That was the way that and then it comes out that the comic people misrepresent or misunderstood what the comic said, and that's according to the story group, that they did not create Anakin, that the Force created Anakin because of what they were trying to do. So do we find out now that Baby Yoda was a result of that? Anything to do with that? I mean, I'm just spitballing here with crazy ideas, but does that have anything? Could they tie anything in with that, or is it that my theory about the Yoda species is that they're in the outer regions. So the Chiss live in the outer regions, and what the outer regions are to the Chiss is where Yoda's planet is, and the species lives, and everybody out there, all the Yodas out there, they're a dime a dozen. They're running around like crazy, and they're all force sensitive. They have force powers, but because everybody has them, they're kind of negated. And then when they come to the Coruscant or the inner rim, whatever you want to call it, that's why they're so strong with these powers. But we don't, they're all over the place, but we never see them because they're so far away. And I mean, I'm only going off of that because we have Yoda and Yaddle, the only two of the species we know of, and now we have Baby Yoda.
That's a very interesting point. I first of all, I'm still intrigued at all the beers that we're going to have together, Michael. But
I think
the
he
other
started
thing,
already.
yeah, the other thing too is George Lucas, before he sold it to Disney, really he left that a mystery. I think there was a directive with him that said, the species of Yoda will remain a mystery. I'm not going to write about it. I'm not going to have anybody else write about it. So it was a very deliberate decision to keep that a mystery. And I hope that somehow maybe if we are to explore this little guy and the species of who Yoda was, that I would really hope that Disney maybe goes back to George and said, "Hey, can we open this Pandora's box? Can you let us in on what you were thinking? Because we'd like to get in on the ground floor and try to explore that." I think that would be fantastic to be able to go back to the creator, the guy who made it all up from the get-go, and see at least what he had in mind.
I think with Dave Filoni involvement in The Mandalorian, that's something that George Lucas might say, okay, I have my guy there, he'll take care of it. If it was someone else, no, but I think having Filoni there might make that a little bit easier for him. So yeah, that would be great.
Yay!
Yeah, I definitely think that goes both ways. That Dave Filoni's, George was his master. He was Dave Filoni was the Padawan, and he's not going to do anything that he really thinks would upset George and decide, okay, I'm going to make Baby Yoda now, or make come into give the background of the Yoda species and the planet. Even if Disney's pushing for that or Lucasfilm is pushing for that, he's probably going to be like, no, that's not something I'm going to do. I mean, I could be wrong on that. That's just my hopes. And I think, though, if he went and talked to George and said, listen, I think then, that would be where we would get George's input coming into there and be like, okay, if you're going to do it, let's do it this way, or let's do, this was how I would have done it. Even though they don't need George's permission, it would be a great thing to have.
What do you guys pretend a Baby Yoda is a boy or a girl?
Well, they've called him a boy.
Yeah, I think he's a boy.
Yeah.
He just looks like a boy.
Well, yeah, they've said he or called him him.
Girl.
Yeah.
I don't think they've ever really, definitely said anything. But I think the consensus is that it's a male of the species, however you want to put that.
Born male.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going with the child as a boy.
Yeah. So,
And
I don't know. Ro was changing his diaper, so maybe he knows.
But Bob, you think Baby Yoda is a girl? Is that right?
yeah, because there was a article involving what's his name? One of the directors who filmed the last episode, and he said something about that the baby is a girl, that supposedly she is a girl. So I said it may be possible, but at the same time, we wouldn't know that information until at least we have season two or some type of information on who is the baby and where is the baby even from, and is this baby able to talk or is it related to Yoda?
I mean, because we don't know, have no idea how he got to that planet when we meet him in season one. That'll be something interesting to know. Because again, like you guys mentioned, we have no idea where this species planet is, if it's mid rim, outer rim, or wherever. How did he make it to that backyard planet in that whatever that fortress where they had him? So yeah, no idea how he got there. Again, I have no idea if it's a boy or a girl, but I think that's the other thing you mentioned, Bobby. Something's coming up a little bit more. Is he gonna speak during season two? I say no, but I know a lot of people say yes.
Hey, I want to add something. I want to add how we know he's a boy, Bob, because it's a fact that little girls don't eat frogs.
I'd have to agree. That is exclusively a boy thing.
I gotta go check on my son. Give me 1 second.
But yes, Alberto raised a good question of do we think he will speak? I kind of lean with Alberto, probably not, and at least in season 2. I don't know. I don't think so.
He's too young.
Yeah. Yeah, he's only 50.
He's only 50. Come on.
Here's another thing. I mean, if you look at just in on Earth, and our time frame and our galaxy, different species age at different rates. So you can't really compare them like that. And some hit maturity or puberty, and it's just completely different than how humans do, where you're a baby for a couple of years and then the toddler and their growth patterns or whatever. So it's completely possible that in a year or two, Baby Yoda could completely mature and double in size. And we also don't know that he can't speak. I mean, he might be able to speak. He might know basic. And the reason that Yoda speaks backwards is because he came here at a later time or whatever. So once again, it's just there's so many answers that we have that we don't even know that we have the questions for yet.
One of the answers already came true already. If you look at the episode when he was helping the villagers and so and the scene when all the little children was saying hi to the baby, when he put his hand up, you can I swear you can hear him saying hi. If you play the audio slow, you can hear the baby saying hi.
I'll have to go back and check. I haven't seen the episodes in a few months, so I gotta go double check that. I mean, it'll be something because, like Michael said, the only one we've heard speak so far is Yoda. We didn't even hear Yaddle speak during the prequel, so who knows? Maybe they speak a completely different language and just Yoda learned basic on his own. And it'll be fun if Baby Yoda starts speaking. If he's gonna speak backwards like Yoda, or would it be just regular speech? So we don't know.
I
Well,
mean, I just
it's interesting too because we do Mike, as Michael pointed out, he is actually called the child, and you see throughout the series he's highly intelligent. Like he knows when he's in trouble, he knows to hide. He's very sneaky. Um, like
Very, very sneaky.
he is very, very sneaky. He's got quite a bit of intelligence. He's just slow to speak for some reason.
It's his wisdom.
Yeah, he knows he's wiser when he's just silent and smiles.
but I mean, the perfect point. We have some people that I know right now that can, that speak both Spanish and English, but they're completely different. They're completely, if you write out a sentence, your verbs and your nouns are backwards. So if Yoda, if Alberto or Ro were to speak English like they were to write out Spanish and not, not translate it into the proper context, they'd be speaking backwards, kind of like Yoda does. So if the child or Baby Yoda or Yoju or whatever you're calling him nowadays, if he was to learn basic the right way, not the opposite way, then he would speak completely normal.
It's funny you should mention that because in Spanish, a lot of times it is backwards.
Well, I would say Spanish is correct and then English is backwards, but we're in the minority here, so.
That's right.
Yeah,
There was like a rumor going around saying that Ahsoka and that Ahsoka is gonna take the baby home and that she's gonna raise the baby, but I don't believe that. Like everything we're seeing right now, everything we're seeing is all rumors. We have no trailer. We have no nothing. What we have is that it's coming out October. We have no information. So everything we're seeing right now is all just like it's all just like rumors. So you don't really know what's gonna happen in season two.
Mhm.
no.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Ahsoka thing was one of the first rumors that people, when the rumor came out, oh, Ahsoka's coming, everyone thought, oh, she's coming to take the baby and then either take her to to his planet or raise him as a Jedi. Again, it's rumors, and then it goes to what we started the conversation. Will they just remove Baby Yoda from the show? Which we probably all think is not going to happen, and we don't think Ahsoka is going to be a recurring character even for season 2, season 3. So that's when if Ahsoka comes and is going to take the child, then I think by the end he'll go back to the Mandalorian. But again, rumors are rumors, and we'll see what happens.
And that's the thing. That's the thing about rumors, especially in this series. Bob, you're right. We have no information about what may happen in season 2. We don't even have a trailer yet. And as far as an Ahsoka rumor, that really would be interesting. But I'm not sure. I mean, if they do it, and I've said it on the podcast before on Scarif that the first time you'll see Ahsoka will be a hologram, and it'll be the last shot of the last episode of season 2, which will get everybody talking about what might happen in between, in between season 2 and 3. I mean, imagine the content that we'll all have if that happens. But yeah, I mean, there's another reason too that maybe we don't have any material for any trailers for season 2 is that they're really working their butts off to try to get something really, really good for the fans. And I mean, I'm hoping that's the case. A lot of people online have been kind of complaining and pretty upset that DC just had their amazing little con, and here we are, the Star Wars fans, we got nothing. But we have to be careful. We have to be careful what we wish for, one, but we also have to be patient, I guess, because I'd rather wait for something good than just kind of get something sloshy at the end.
Yeah.
Bro, you bring up a good point. I actually had the thought, do you guys think Disney in a smart, actually being smart, that they saw, okay, DC fandom is coming. They knew Wonder Woman trailer was coming, probably Batman, yada, yada, yada. I actually think it would be smart if I'm releasing a trailer and I see all the hype that happened after that Batman trailer's released. I'm going to pull my trailer off the table for at least a week or so and let that chill down. And then I'm going to pump everyone up once that's kind of chilled just a little bit.
Yeah, that's a good point. But we should have gotten news that it was going to happen,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then have them pull back. But we got nothing. I mean, literally zero.
Yeah,
Been
well, and
silent.
it all goes back to rumors, but it was supposedly, from insiders that it was going to happen during the basketball game. But then they decided to pull it back because of DC fandom. And then everyone was assuming that because of Star Wars Celebration supposed to be happening this week, we were going to get it this week. But what they're saying is maybe right, that they decided to pull it back, and okay, and knowing that there's going to be the Star Wars fans that are going to be hyped about it are already doing celebration stuff. So let's do it next week. And is it better to be upset that we don't have a trailer, or better to be upset that they gave us too much and we know too much? I mean, I'd rather be upset that we didn't get it, because I don't think anyone needs to be hyped for this season coming up, and it already has the following of people that weren't Star Wars fans because of the child. And I forget it could have been Steele Saunders or someone. He said, "Why does McDonald's even advertise? Everybody already knows what they have. It's just every once in a while put it out there from a marketing aspect, just to say, hey, we're still here." But if they stopped advertising, how much money would they actually lose versus what they spend in marketing? And I think that's kind of like, it could go along with this perfectly, because if you're not advertising The Mandalorian, wait till after Milan comes out, and then that comes out, and put your commercial on to there, or start putting your commercials on Disney Plus or something like that, to get people that are already Star Wars fans and already going to watch it. And you don't need to try and get new people in, because they're already drawn in, or they're going to be drawn in with all the hype once it starts back up. So the trailer isn't really going to do much.
And last year, the trailer was released pretty close to the actual release of the series, so it's not far fetched to think that we're still kind of on track for doing the same thing as last year. I think it was like 2 weeks before the release,
I
if
thought
I
it
remember
was
correctly.
actually last week from the year
Yeah,
before. So and it came out in November last year. So it was a little bit
it was pretty
before the first
close.
look. I mean, we live in a society that needs constant reminders and refreshers because there's so much content out there. I know that we don't need the reminder, but also, what's the first thing people? Oh, what? How many downloads did something got that first week? How many retweets or YouTube views? So even if we are gonna watch it, Disney and Lucasfilm, everyone knows that that first day and that first week is the most important. And if there's no advertisement, and people, regular fans, say, oh, what, did season 2 come out already? I didn't even know. I'll watch it next week or something. That pulls down some of the revenue. So yes, we don't need it, and it's something that Star Wars fans have said for the longest. Oh, don't show me any trailers, I'm gonna go watch the movies. But at the same time, we blame them, and changing a little bit, we blame them a little for the failure of Solo box office wise, and we blame, oh, Lucasfilm botched the marketing for that movie. And I know there's a bunch of different factors. It's a totally different situation, but there has to be some sort of marketing, even a month or so before, just to get everyone back on that mindset. But it does make sense that it didn't come out last week because of DC fandom. I was one of those persons that thought it was happening this week because of Celebration. Spent 2 hours yesterday talking about Celebration of what we wanted to see. But yeah, there's a lot of things happening. Mulan is coming out this week or next week, so maybe they're pushing that first and then start the Mandalorian push. again, we're still a month and a half away, so there's still time for us to see something.
Do we even have an actual date? I know it's coming October, but do we know the day in October?
No, that has not been released yet either.
Because that's something would be good for in the trailer. Actually, reveal the actual date. Like put that at the very end. That would be smart whenever they do release it.
Well, I just talked with my source right here.
Oh,
She's the insider, and she told me that it's going to come out because Milan's going to be in the movie theaters. There's going to be a Mandalorian trailer for that, or if you get it on Disney Plus early, that's when it's coming out, and then they're going to release the date that it's going to actually be aired. So you've heard it first, coming from the 2x2 Star Wars Network with my inside sources. That is what's happening.
So that means Mulan in the movie theater, not in the US, or gonna show a trailer of the Mandalorian season 1 or season 2.
so it'll be for season 2.
Yeah, because it comes out in select theaters if you have theaters open. I'm in New York City, so I have no movie theaters. So if I want to see Milan, I need to order it, spend the $30 and order it next week. Or I have to wait.
Michael, did the zombies destroy all the movie theaters in New York?
Yeah, movie theaters are closed, man. They're not open. They're not looking to be open anytime soon.
No, no,
Yes.
no, no. I live in New York as well, and movie theaters here are not open, and they're very strict about opening movie theaters here, and it's no joke. Like they're seriously not opening movie theaters, and like I said, right now, I have no movies to watch. I have no TV shows to watch. I'm not watching streaming services. So like, I'm a bit disappointed we didn't get the Mandalorian trailer yet. But at the same time, I'm just waiting like everybody else, and hopefully tomorrow or this week we get something involving Good Morning America announcing something from the Mandalorian season 2.
The other thing too is if anything was gonna happen this week, Black Panther died, and there's a lot of tribute videos, especially because ABC News is part of the Disney family. They're doing some sort of big tribute thing, and not that they had any plans to release it this week, anyways. But that's another like major tentpole that just kind of sprung out of nowhere for fans of MCU, Star Wars, genre films, stuff like that. So, but Alberto, you're right. There is still time, and I'm sure everybody's very excited to see what's going to happen.
But
Yeah,
now, so here's the thing, though. If they were planning on doing it this week, and you had the death, so would they still do it? Just change the way they do it a little bit, so it's not going to be a big to do on Good Morning America, like with the other trailers and things like that. And did they just kind of stick it in, or are they going to put it off another week? Because I mean, it's horrible to say, but from a marketing aspect, everyone's going to be watching. So from a marketing, you'd want to put it in there and get it in there. You just wouldn't want to make that be the primary focus.
Yeah, but shows like Good Morning America and everything that's part of the ABC family, especially the ABC News family, that's kind of a little outside from the entertainment end of it. It's kind of a built-in thing for them to be able to carry stuff like any announcements with some of the other properties that are not news related. Obviously, the entertainment stuff, MCU, Star Wars, Disney. Mm-hmm. So, I think it's just another avenue for the marketing. I don't know. I mean, we know because we're kind of entrenched in that world, but even like casual fans that watch news in the morning, they're going to be able to see it as well. So that's like another adjunct to the pool of eyes that are watching ABC News.
I think if they plan on doing something today or on Monday with that trailer, I think they'll pull it back and then just wait at least closer to the weekend just to let the Chadwick Boseman story have its time. And then later in the week, they might then do something. But I think we'll have some idea a couple of days before. They'll probably announce, hey, tomorrow there'll be a sneak peek on Good Morning America, and then the following day we'll get the official trailer. So I guess we'll have a heads up at least for a few days, but right now we're just waiting. But
And I can see them doing something like what they did with Rogue One. They actually had a teaser to the teaser, which was just a shot of a Death Trooper with burning stuff in the background. But that was enough to kind of create excitement, for everybody like us for at least a week.
yeah.
Well, that's when Solo came out. When it was announced that they were going to have the trailer, or rumored that they were going to have the trailer, whatever day it was, Monday or Tuesday, and I had to tell my astronomy professor, I said, "Listen, I'm going to miss class, but it's related to space exploration, so it's okay." And I went to that trailer. I was the only person there that was a Star Wars fan because no one knew about it. It was just coming through the leaks, through the Star Wars insiders and leakers, that it was going to be that day. Is the only reason I knew. And there was one other person there wearing a Star Wars shirt, but they didn't even know there was a Solo movie coming out. But that's there's always people outside of Good Morning America whenever there's gonna the rumored trailer release and dressed up in cosplay, and that's why it was just so weird that I was the only one. But I think with this, it would still get out or still leak. But then again, no one can get to Good Morning America. They don't have an audience now, so that would be an easier way to keep it quiet because you don't have people being there. And like when I was there for I was talking to one security guard. I was like, "So is there anybody here?" He's like, "No." And I was like, "Are you just saying no? There's really nobody here." He's like, "No, there's really nobody here." He's like, "We would have known over the weekend or before that we were going to have them in here." And I was like, "Okay." So they have that responsibility that they know a little bit in advance, but they're not allowed to say anything, and that's just a security guard or who's ever working, not anyone with the real knowledge. So I don't know. I really have no idea what's going to happen. We're all just, for the last month we've been saying it's going to be next week, it's going to be next week, it's going to be next week, and we all have great reasons why. And when it happens, we're all going to be right because everyone's saying next week. It has their own reason.
Where are the leaked set footage or the leaked set pictures? Like we got leaked photos from the set of The Mandalorian prior to the release of the first season, where you'd see, characters or actors walking back and forth from set with coats on, and sometimes you can see a little bit of stuff. We haven't seen even any of that, and I know that the shooting was wrapped before the whole coronavirus thing hit, so I'm sure there were people out there kind of sneakily taking pictures on set. Even a closed set as guarded as a Dave Filoni, Jean Favreau project like this is highly secure, but we haven't gotten not an ounce, not one pixel of leaked material, which is I also find that fascinating. And that actually obviously could be because they're shooting inside now. They've got the volume and all that stuff, so it's a lot more guarded.
Well, too, Ro, I remember getting that first shot of him walking through the town, just him like outside walking through the town from the first episode, and it was all over like entertainment news and stuff or whatever, wherever different places. Like it was an actual official photo, but we've not gotten anything. Like you said, official, non-official, nothing.
Yeah, the people that were responsible for all the leaked footage and aerial footage, and knew where the scenes were in California for season 1. They've been laying low and haven't put out any spoilers or anything for months. So they might have a lot of footage and just not dropped it yet. I mean, I'm not really sure.
They've been taken care of by Lucasfilm.
Like to be honest, somebody was talking about on social media, that I heard that in Latin America, Disney Plus is coming November 17th. So everybody keeps saying, "Oh, it's gonna get delayed until November." They're gonna delay it, but but I don't see that gonna happen.
No, I don't think they'll delay season two. They already said that season three is on schedule to start production and all that. So I don't think they're gonna delay Mandalorian season two, being their most popular show, and it's already wrapped. That and they saved this for Monday. It's ready to go. So I don't see that a reason for them to delay it, especially if movie theaters in most places are closed and everyone's just watching stuff on their home. This is the best time to do it. I'm surprised they haven't even moved it up because Rise of Skywalker, they released it early on Disney Plus. There a lot of their movies they released on Disney Plus. Now Mulan is, even there's gonna be select theaters, most of it is gonna be on Disney Plus. I don't see them delaying it just to have another market. When they released it last year, Disney Plus was just starting. A bunch of places in Europe didn't even have it. So I don't see him delaying it. Just so other places might have access to it. So I don't think it's going to be delayed. I don't know why I thought that somewhere I read that it was supposed to come either the first or second week of October, but that probably just someone talking and not really having any information.
If
I
I'm guessing, I'm going to put it mid-October at probably the earliest because of gosh, why did I just forget his name? The guy who plays the Mandalorian. I just went brain dead.
Pedro Pascal.
Pedro Pascal, because Wonder Woman comes out October 3rd, so he will have to be doing press stuff with Wonder Woman up till then. So, I mean, they may want to give him a week or two so then he can start doing Mandalorian press, move from there to there. That would just be it's a random guess. I don't know.
That's a good guess, though.
So last year they had episode one, I think, a Monday or Tuesday, right? And then episode two that same Friday. So let's say Monday, October 12th, or that week might be a good week to release in mid-October. Give a week or so to Wonder Woman to have its time, and then release it then. And it's still early in October compared to last year, so that might be something good.
And then, all right, here's a question. Ro, I think you might have said something about it earlier when you were talking about maybe rumors, or I'm just maybe misremembering. I'm not sure. Did anyone hear about that they were recently, a few weeks ago, shooting or doing reshoots, or it was actually supposed to be they were shooting the new trailer footage. If they were shooting, it was supposed to be Ahsoka. They were shooting new trailer footage for Ahsoka. And if they were shooting trailer footage for Ahsoka, that would mean that she wasn't in The Mandalorian, or they changed the story at some point, or that it's going to be like a Rogue One, where we get the Rogue One trailer and 90% of it's not in the movie. So, is it were they just giving us something that isn't going to be in the television show, shooting Ahsoka, to give us something to talk about, to give her some hype? Or do you think they changed the story with all the rumors or speculation, and they were actually doing reshoots for the show?
I really hope that they don't. I really hope that they haven't changed the story to what they already decided based on rumors from fans. I know, we talk a lot about this topic with Lauren from the Galactic Podcast, having said that, when the companies listen to the fans, yeah, that's a double-edged sword. I'm hoping that they stuck to their original story, because at some point those executive decisions should come from the executives and not the fans. But I might be, I don't know. I'm not flip flopping. It's just that sometimes, it's good to listen to fans because obviously we're the ones paying for it. But at the same time, we're not screenwriters. We're not, the creatives behind the scenes. It would be nice to have them just make the decision, do the story, and where the cards lay, and see where they go. But I hope they're not shooting extra stuff just because people are saying, "Hey, we want to see Ahsoka." I'm hoping that maybe, at the very least, maybe they say, "You know what? Ahsoka is a really popular character. Let's expand on what's already here instead of adding more because of the rumor mills."
I'm at kind of the opposite, where the leaks came out. So we got leaks that Ahsoka is going to be in it, or the roles that the other people are going to play. So they said, you know what, we can change these couple scenes and make her not be in it, or not be in it as much, or not really be live action and have her be, like you said, a hologram right at the end to set up whether it's going to be the Rebels cartoon that's rumored to come out next, or if it's going to set up a live action Ahsoka, or all the possibilities that all these people that are coming in here, are going to be able to set up. Are they going to be to show for the story? Are they going to actually be for the story, or is it to set up the next property or the next spin-off type of show?
Yeah, there's so many balls in the air that you're right. There's a lot of stuff that's happening as far as like new Disney and there's that new rumor that Kylo Ren's going to have a new show and all this stuff, which I again there's so much happening that we're not going to know what pegs fit in what holes until after the release of stuff. So grain of salt, people.
Yeah, so my thought about, because I saw that rumor, so that the reason it wasn't posted last week was because they were recording new stuff for the trailer with Ahsoka. I'm going to go on a limb and say that it's not actual footage, that she's doing the voiceover for the trailer with the reveal at the end of the trailer that Ahsoka is on the show. So hopefully she's just doing the voiceover for the trailer, and then at the end we see her. And that is not new footage, or they decide to either put something in or out because of the leaks. So hopefully it's just they stick to their guns, but they want to use a little bit more on the trailer. But Baby Yoda, let's talk about Baby Yoda.
No, my child's cuter than your child.
I have
My
two.
God.
You can be
Twins.
two.
Did you guys
Yeah.
hear about the Baby Yoda tribute that came out?
No.
Oh yeah, I want the Baby Yoda cereal.
Oh.
My daughter actually gets a Baby Yoda Frappuccino from Starbucks, but half of them know what it is and half of them don't. So you have to like tell them exactly how to make it. It's like green with whipped cream and like caramel on top. It's actually pretty good.
I'll have to try one of those.
What do you guys think about Baby Yoda Con?
I think it's great what you're doing. I think
Yeah, very cool.
All the fans, clearly all of us have a Baby Yoda. We love Baby Yoda, so I mean, why not talk about Baby Yoda?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
I think Baby Yoda is, maybe the biggest thing to ever happen to Star Wars. I mean, yes, you have the original movie, which kind of changed the world as it is, but even the reveal of Luke, I'm your father, everyone knows about that now. But it wasn't water cooler talk. It wasn't people sitting around at work and talking about, oh, did you hear that? Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father. But you know what happened the next day or the next week or two after The Mandalorian came out? Everybody talked about Baby Yoda. Everybody wanted to buy Baby Yoda stuff. So, I mean, I think that Baby Yoda is the biggest thing to happen to Star Wars since Star Wars happened to itself.
Good point.
Yeah, it's true.
Man, it's great to talk about Baby Yoda, especially this week. Everyone's doing their special tribute to Star Wars Celebration. So to do something specific with Baby Yoda is great. Like Michael said, I don't know if Star Wars, Lucasfilm, or whoever knew how big it was gonna be, but just seeing him in that first episode and then seeing how important he is for the rest of the show just blew him to another level. I mean, everyone now just wants more and more Baby Yoda. I need one with a little silver ball. I need the one eating the frog or with the bone broth. So there's so much that they've done with this little character. Because like Ro was saying, when all the leaks were coming out for season 1, I remember reading something that said, "Oh, the catalyst for season 1 is gonna be a baby." Like, no, that just doesn't make sense. Bounty hunter taking care of a baby, it's raising Arizona, or whatever. It doesn't make sense. And then that first episode, I see the little crib, and oh yeah, a baby, and then the little head pokes out and the finger, and it just won everyone over. So, like Michael is saying,
over.
yeah, I watch this with my family. Some of them are Star Wars fans, others are not. But we have to sit down and watch Mandalorian, and every time Baby Yoda comes, oh, Baby Yoda, don't hurt Baby Yoda, you're gonna. So yeah, it's it's out there. It's one of the biggest things to happen in pop culture in a long time.
Yeah,
There's
Well,
like
that was
endorphins released when you see Baby Yoda.
there are.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, I mean, I purposely stayed off social media that day, and I went to my buddy Mike Pappas's house. He used to be with Rogue One. Now it's the Pop Culture Hour, and here's two guys, and we're sitting here watching it, and we're on the couch, and they show Baby Yoda, and we end up like hugging each other, like screaming, like girls at a Justin Bieber concert or whatever, like, oh my god, it's baby, like, oh my god, and it was just I wish that we would have been recording it at the time because it would have probably been hilarious and made a million views on YouTube, but
I was gonna say it probably would have gone viral.
yeah, it probably would have. But it's just one of those things. Like it was such a phenomenon, and they're like once again, even Star Wars there hasn't been anything that big since Star Wars.
Agreed.
Baby Yoda has united fans from both sides of
Yeah.
the room.
That is
Yeah.
true. I mean, there's
Yeah.
where I think it's like when a new Star Wars comes out, or people that complain about it, it's usually about like 80-20. 80 people like it, 20% don't like it. It doesn't seem like that because the minority seem to be a little bit more vocal. But like when Baby Yoda came out, I think it was probably like 99-1 on people
Yeah.
that liked it and didn't like it. That's why you don't hear anything about it.
Let's find out who that one person is and
Yeah.
set them straight.
It was Alberto.
We'll send the Mandalorian after him.
Her name
Yeah,
is her
like-
name is Karen.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I truly thank you guys for coming on here and
Yeah.
just talking about Baby Yoda and spreading the happiness and joy that eats the baby and that the baby eats amazing and that and that me putting on this convention at the like this thing we're doing now it's all pre-recorded, but in the same time the baby is very positive. And before I end the video, I want you guys to say where people can find you and plug your channel.
Oh yeah. Well, first before I go, I want to say that my Baby Yoda has lipstick stain right here because I kiss him twice a day, right there. But you can find us Force of Light everywhere podcasts are. You can find us on YouTube at Force of Light Entertainment, and you can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Force of Light Entertainment. And I am Michelle34 Smith on Twitter and Instagram. Natalie.
And I'm Natalie R. Grace on Twitter and NatLovesBella07 on Instagram. And I want to thank you for having us on. It was
Yes,
a pleasure.
thank you.
Guys.
Yeah. Thank you very much for inviting me to be here. I'm Michael from the 2x2 Star Wars Network. I have the Bacta Tank, and then that is turned into a podcast also. You can find that on your podcast. And then on the YouTube channel, there's the Bacta Tank, the Septic Tank, Holocron House, Coruscant Coach's Corner, Collecting with Kylo. I cover all the bases. Anything you want to
You're
talk
everywhere.
about. I do as much as I can.
It's probably doing another show right now as we're recording this. So yeah, again, thanks, Bob, not just for setting this up, but for having all of us here. Radio Rebellion Podcast, you can find us on YouTube. Just search for Radio Rebellion Podcast. A new episode drops every Saturday. And then Twitter and Instagram, Radio Rebel Pod. And the audio podcast comes out on Monday. So yeah, thanks again. And that's where you can find us.
And yeah, Bob, thank you very much for setting this up, and thank you for setting it up with such a great group of Yoda stands. Is that what the young kids are saying these days? But
It sure is.
yeah.
Gotta
So yeah, there you go. Honest takes and deep dives is what the Scarab Scuttlebutt podcast is all about. We talk about anything from characters to scenarios to deep dives. I am Ro, 1/3 of the Scarab podcast, along with Brad and sometimes Alex. And we can be found everywhere that podcasts are broadcast. part of the Red 5 network, network of awesome people that love and share the love of Star Wars, and that includes Baby Yoda. I'm gonna go get some more endorphins. So I'll talk to you.
And thank you guys so much for coming, and may the force be with all of you. And
Thank
you.
you, Bob.
thank you guys so much.
Yay!
Yes, thank
You
you.
too. By the
Thank you.
Don't shake the baby.
No,
Mine's-
that is not the way.
Thank you guys for coming.
Right. Thank
Thank
you.
All right, Bob.
Thank you
Thank
for
you very
having me.
much, man.
See, Bob, I think you got to end the video, man.
Okay.